So not everything has dried for this, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward because I know the colors that that I'm going to start, the swatches that I'm going to start with, I know are dry, and because I'm going to go kind of in the same sequence, red and then blue and then the middle and then there, that I'm pretty sure everything's going to be dry by the time I get around to it. So first I'm going to rinse out that brush in some of my dirty water over here that's off camera. I'm going to keep going with this water that I have here, which, if you can see it, is starting to become a little too much color in it, such that it might influence, but not so much that I'm going to stop and change it out. That was a little example of having a blob of paint that was not all the way mixed, it was hiding in my brush. And it's the kind of thing that can get you sort of really frustrated if you let it. Try not to let it. And also just be sure that if you don't want, hopefully you can see that on video, but if you don't want sort of a spot like that, then make sure you spend a good amount of time mixing the paint on the palette. So what I'm doing here is I'm coming back in with what I'm calling a juicy wash of the color, and I'm glazing on to the second and third column. I just did that for my quinacridone rose. Now I'm going to do that for my ultramarine blue. It's a little too much water. There's my ultramarine blue. So I'm going to do that on my second and third column. I haven't done it yet, but I do want to make sure that I actually notate these the colors that I'm using here on this piece of paper. Sometimes I might write it on the back if I don't feel like having anything written on here, but more and more I enjoy doing these, but I know that their purpose is more to learn more than being a piece of art that I'm viewing. And I'm sort of worried about everything there is to worry about how, aesthetically, visually, how it appears. So now I'm going to try to mix more of a juicy wash of a combination right in the middle what I had there wasn't quite going to be concentrated enough. So I'm going to bring in a little bit more concentrated pigment from each of them. That looks maybe, yeah, I'm going to go with that. So a little less water and about half of each, mixing them on the palette. There's all sorts of ways you can mix colors, and it's very fun to mix paints and pigments straight onto the paper because they do all sorts of fun things. That's a different exercise. Or if you feel like doing that, you can do that here. That's certainly your option. Let me see. I'm going to now try to do the reddish violet. So I'm mixing, I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, does that seem, yeah, that seems like it's right in between that violet and the red. Sure. Let's see. How about the blue violet? I'm gonna need to. I'm gonna come over here. That's a lot of blue. That's a little too blue. I'll try to pick up some from there. Bring it over. Maybe a little bit more. You'll sort of figure out there's a back and forth. Should I try to make this puddle the right puddle by bringing in more here, or should I try to make that puddle the puddle that I'm using? I do have them split on each side, which can be kind of helpful. I think I'm going to go with that, and maybe that's, yeah, like that. There's a lot of pooling paint there, I know. So that is my second layer of mixing these two colors. I may decide to adjust a little bit. Those are looking a little bit close to each other. I may decide to make that a little bit more blue. I'm not sure. I'm going to let it dry, and then we'll have a better idea. One of the many challenges, fun aspects of watercolor is that it always dries sometimes quite a bit different, sometimes a little bit different. So I'll be back. I do like that.